Good morning. It is now the 16th of December, the 16th day of Stitchmas / Vlogmas. Right, I've done loads already this morning and it is only 20 past 9 in the morning. So as you might be able to see, I've got my breakfast here. So I'm going to have my breakfast and then I'm going to have a look at my phone a little bit because I've had a few messages come through, and then I'm going to come back to you and we're going to do advent calendars. I'll show you what I was doing last night in the way of craft and talk about what's happening today and any Christmassy crafty goings on and things. So I'll be back in a moment. Bye. Right, I'm back. In all honesty, I kind of wish I hadn't looked at my phone now before coming and chatting with you. I didn't manage to read all the messages on my phone, but I had a look at what was in my family one first, because obviously because of family emergencies and things. And my eldest son, who was at home, because I've been out this morning, I've taken the boys to the younger and the middle child to school and college, and then I've drove home. I hadn't had breakfast at this point. I just got ready and gone out. But where we live, there's people that park on the other side of the road. So sometimes only one row of traffic can get through. So if I'm coming from that direction, people queue because they're letting the people come this way, if you know what I mean, and they all queue up. But it means when I get through, I can't get on the drive. So I've either got to go past, swing around and then come back. But today, when this happened last night, I've got a story actually. I got shouted at, but it ended up with a happy ending, right? With somebody in that grove. Do you remember I was telling you the other day that I don't know many people, and there was a man that shouted at me. Well, I've had another man shout at me from there, but he did apologise when he realised, but I'll tell you that in a moment. So this morning when I came back, I couldn't get back on the drive, so I drove straight past and I just went to the shops instead. And I thought, you know what, I really fancied toasted tea cakes, so I bought some tea cakes. That was my intention. And then you know what it's like when you go in there. I thought, oh, we need this, we need that. And then I ended up just getting things for dinner. So I've bought some like pre-prepared chicken breasts wrapped in bacon with cheese and barbecue sauce, you know, that you bake in the little tray. And I'm going to give my family that tonight with fries, and I'm going to cook some corn on the cobs for them, probably pre-boil them, and then put them on the griddle so they're nice and charred, a bit like Nando's. So yeah, I did that. So when I come back from that direction, I can always get back on my drive usually okay. It's just coming from that direction. But I could see a lot of messages, like, you know, coming through on my watch because it's hooked up to my phone. But obviously I'm driving, so I just ignore it. I see when I get back. But so the only person that was home was my eldest son, and there's a message in the family WhatsApp group saying that a guy has come and drove here and took a photograph of the house. A really sketchy looking guy. He's a teenager. I don't know quite what he means by sketchy, but it doesn't sound good, does it? But I've just tried to have a chat with him, but he's in the shower at the moment. So yeah, what it is, I have anxiety, and knowing somebody's taken a photograph of the house, you know, it just feels a bit worrying, doesn't it, really? Thinking, is it somebody? He said he looked like somebody that was casing the house kind of thing. So yeah, and it's awful, you know, when you know I've got to go out today, and yeah, it does make you worry a little bit, doesn't it? You know, you've got to go out. So, but all the doors are locked and everything. So yeah, we just got to hope that everything's going to be okay. So what are we going to do first? So on a happier note, oh no, shall I tell you about what happened last night when the same thing happened? I drove back from doing the school run. This was the evening school run, and I couldn't get back on the drive. So basically I drove past my house and pulled into a grove to just swing round. But as I pulled in, somebody pulled in from that direction, so I come round this way, they come that way. And then when I wanted to reverse, and basically I got in there, and the residents have put all cones in the spaces. So I'd have had to reverse up onto the grass verge because I couldn't get into a space to turn round. And this man is bibbing and shouting, the one that pulled in after me. And I got out of the car, right, and I went up to him. And I said, and he's going, I live here, you shouldn't be parking here, he shouted. And I said, I'm really sorry. I said, but I live there. As soon as I said that, he said, oh, what? Oh, I'm sorry. I said, yeah. And he said, what, are you swinging round? I said, yeah. I said, I couldn't get on my drive when I come from that direction. I'm just swinging round just so I can get back on. And he was all apologetic. And anyway, when I pulled up on my drive, and I think he felt awful. He came over and we had a good old chat. So now we even know each other's names and we're on very friendly terms. So there, I was saying to you, I don't know many people in that grove. Apart from one chap, I don't know his name, he's nice, we've had each other's parcels. One that I'm not keen on, and there's a lady that goes to my Pilates. Well, I know another one now, and he's the neighbour of the lady. So basically, he lives between the man that I like and the lady I go to Pilates with. So I'm starting to get to know a few people. I've only lived here God knows how many years, you know. I think I've lived here longer than most of them over there. So anyway, so yeah, that's quite nice. So a negative story ended up being a positive one. So I do know somebody else there now. So what am I going to do? So I'm going to have a sip of coffee actually. Basically, I'm ice skating today. I don't know if I'm going to film ice skating, but yeah, I am going ice skating this morning. So yeah, it's a bit of a full-on morning. So I've basically, I haven't managed to do a huge amount at home so far because I've had to rush out. I've unloaded the dishwasher. I've got to load it back up again. So what I'll probably do is, when I've finished filming here, what I'll probably do is just do as many jobs as I can before I go ice skating. That is my plan. So what shall I do first? Shall I show you what I finished last night, actually, before I do the advent calendars? So you've seen recently Percy the poinsettia, the Lally Layla pattern that I bought as a kit form from Germany, directly from the designer from Etsy. Now, I don't know if you can notice, but I didn't realise until I looked at the back page of the pattern, they're meant to have these little rosy cheeks. And there actually was in there the yarn to do the rosy cheeks. I wasn't sure if it was. So you can see now, Percy's got rosy cheeks. He's lovely, isn't he? So he's had a little bit of a, you know, a makeover. And so has Chris, the elf. You saw him yesterday, because I finished him yesterday, and he's got his little rosy cheeks now. Lovely, isn't he? I still haven't got those bells out of my car. I haven't. I've got to get them. And now you're going to meet Molly. Now, Molly's obviously a little girl from her name. Now, she doesn't look all that girly, so don't expect her to look more girly than these. But I'll get her out. Ta-da! Now, Molly is a Christmas bauble, so she's got the little rosy cheeks as well. She's really cute, isn't she? Actually, bear with me. I'm just going to get something so it's easy to show you the three of them together. And bear with me. Oh, right, I'm back. I just snuck in another sip of coffee before coming back to you. Right, this is my thing that I put my iPad on, that JML thing. Do you remember that I had? So, right, I'll put Percy on first. And Chris, the elf. And Molly. Right, this is how I was looking at them last night. It's upstairs. That's the three of them together. They look. Yeah, I'll put them on the edge so you can see the feet a little bit better. They look lovely, don't they? And I thought, when I was doing this last night, when I was finishing off the final pieces of making them, I love them like this. Because they look like they're holding hands, don't they? They look like little pals. I just think they're absolutely adorable. The designer has got such an imagination, she has. And there's lots of different versions of these. There are some other Christmas ones. And no, I don't want to put that there. Yeah, there are some other Christmas ones. And there's Easter, there's Halloween, there's birthday themed. God, there's lots of different ones. She's actually got on one, not on all of them, but if you go on her Etsy shop, if I was looking at the Easter one, and if you flick along the photographs, she's got actually a video, and she does a fast speed basically of every single one she does. It flicks from one to the other, but what the eyes have lined up in it, so it's really bizarre. The eyes never move, but it keeps flicking from one to one, and it's just really fun to see. So do you know what, I'm really delighted with these, and yeah, it's just exciting. So I don't know what I'm going to work on next in the evening. I haven't actually thought that far ahead. It was just, obviously these were a 3 set and I just wanted to get them done. So I'll have a little bit of a think. I might even have an evening off. Well, I'm not going to have an evening off as such. My husband is going to be watching football on the TV at 8 o'clock. So I'm planning on coming in here to do some sewing. Well, I say coming in here, what I'll probably have to do, I'm thinking of cutting out that top that I'd like to wear on Christmas Day, like the Christmas jumper. So what I might do is, while he's watching football, I might lay that out all on the hall floor and just cut it out with my dressmaking shears. And then if there's still, still time to spare, begin the sewing of it. Whether I'll finish it or not in the whole football match, because we usually do stop at half time and have a cuppa together. And so some sewing, a garment sewing this evening. So whether when all that's done and dusted, whether then I'll do any handwork when the football's ended, I don't know. I'm not too sure. Maybe it might do, because if my husband wants to put Emmerdale and things on, I am quite happy to do some handwork during Emmerdale. So maybe I will start something else. Or I did think about, I found my French hen that I'd started. I'm not saying I'm going to continue with those 12 days of Christmas felt pieces, because there's no way I'm going to get those done now before Christmas. But maybe I'll complete the French hen, because obviously I've started her last year. So that's a possibility that I could work on this evening when the football's over. So that's my crafty plans, and some of my personal plans with what I've got dinner sorted, haven't I? And obviously I'm going ice skating. I'll just pop that over there. And obviously doing housework and things. So maybe this afternoon I might be able to write some Christmas cards. That would be nice before, when I come home after lunch and things. That would be lovely. Yeah, I've spoke to my son now. He said what happened is a guy drove past here really slowly. He didn't stop and took a photograph. So, and I said, well, it could be innocent. It could, because what it is, people really like our porch and things, and people are always saying, oh, you've got a gorgeous porch. So you don't know if he's like taking a photograph of the porch or something. It could be innocent, couldn't it? But my son has said, I've seen like vans going up and down here, up and down, looking at the house. And I said, yeah, I've seen that too. So I've actually taken photographs of people's cars if I think they've been going up and down. Yeah, it is a little bit worrying. What it is, we've got a bedroom at the front of the house and my son's at the front of the house, so you see kind of things that's going on. My middle son's at the back, and we had that bedroom for a short amount of time while we were decorating our bedroom, and I loved it. Oh, I just loved it out the back, with the wildlife and all those mature trees. And it was like wildlife central kind of thing. It was just wonderful. But yeah, obviously we have the traffic to look at. You can do more people watching out the front. So anyway, I'm going to do the advent calendars now, because we've talked about what I made, and we've talked about my plans and things. So yeah, it's calendar time. I know I do it different orders, don't I, each day. So what did I say? It's the 16th. it's something out of the box. And tomorrow, there's nothing in there, right? But do you remember me saying that Mary Angela was going to send me something for the door, and she sent me a few little bits, and Katie wrapped up some bits for my calendar, but she said I can open them at Christmas if I want to. So basically I've put them in a bag. Hang on, let me have a look. Yeah, I've put them in a paper hobbycraft bag here. So if I ever get a day I haven't got anything to open, I'm going to delve into that bag and open something. So that's really exciting, isn't it? So thank you so much, ladies, because I'm not going to know what's in it. So I'm actually really, I was dreading getting to a door that, well, a pocket that had nothing in it to open, and I was thinking, oh well, I'll just have a chocolate out of the box or something. Well, it's going to be even more exciting, isn't it? So right, 16. No, do you know what, I'm putting that back a moment. Let's do the hemline calendar first. I'm getting too ahead of myself. I always do the hemline calendar first, the one that I won, and then the crafty so-and-so, the one I bought for about 60 something pound. That I bought, I hadn't planned on, I'm sorry if you've heard this before, I hadn't planned on buying a calendar this year. I was just going to do this thing, collect bits all year, and then I had an email from the crafty so-and-so, and then I caved. It just was, at the time, I could afford it. It was quite reasonable, because I know, you know, some calendars are more expensive, but I wasn't in the market for something that expensive this year. So 16, 3-in-1 sewing gauge. Now these are useful. Now what's quite funny is I have one very similar right in front of me here, but it is a bit bent. Can you see the ripple in it? Oh look, that's nice, isn't it? And I think this is probably a bit better actually, because you can dig your pencil in that hole and then swing it round and things, or like put a pin in the hole and then swing your pencil round. You know, yeah, it's better. And I think that, see that thing there, this is better. This is good for when you're installing buttons. So do you know, if you sew on a button onto a garment and you don't want it really tight to the fabric, you want it really secure, but you don't want it that tight to the fabric, you can't button the other piece of fabric on. That's what that's good for. What you can do is put that between your button and your fabric, sew it on for dear life, you know, as much as you can. Then when you remove it, there's going to be a slight gap and it will fit your fabric. And then what they've actually done with this, you could have it that thick, but obviously they bear in mind you might not want a gap that is that thick, so you can actually bend that. So that is actually better than the one I've got. So I've got another one of these, look. So that's really handy. So I'm going to put that one over the other side of the room actually. So yeah, I'm really, really pleased with that in the hemline one today. So that's really good, isn't it? Now look how this box is looking now. They all want to fall over now. None of them are in the right places. Right, I've put them all at the bottom, all stacked. So that's what we've got left to open in my hemline. Obviously, I lost the door. I didn't lose it, it came off, didn't it? The other side. So you have to be careful with this because... Oh, rubbish. I had a real good sort out in here yesterday actually, which I didn't end up mentioning in my video yesterday. What happened is I went through all my jersey fabrics, and anything that was big enough for a hair scrunchie or a pair of pants I kept and I put it separately, and all the bigger pieces of jersey I bagged up back in the bag that it was in anyway. It's like a big shopping, it's like a laundry bag that you take your clothes to the laundrette, that kind of bag. And anything smaller than that in Jersey that you couldn't make a scrunchie out of it or couldn't make a pair of pants, I've actually disposed of it for recycling, for, you know, fabric recycling. So yeah, I felt like I managed to offload. Oh, I've just heard my son go out. I was kind of hoping that he wouldn't go out actually today, because obviously I'm a bit worried about the house being empty. Yeah, it's a bit worrying, isn't it? I have got one of those Ring doorbells, so it does pick up things, and the CCTV and things round the back of the houses and things. So yeah, we'll just see. There's a trouble. When you live on a main road, you get noticed, don't you? So hopefully I don't know what's worse actually, if it's me being stalked or the house being watched. I don't know what's worse. Right, so 16, 17 and 18 are all right at the top of the box. So I'm not going to have to do any cutting out, at least for the next 3 days at least, when I'll go delving in this box. Oh, I'm going to need another safety pin, ladies. Right, have I got one here? Right, you'll probably guess why. That's if I can do that with these. Oh, no, I can't. Put the safety pin back. Well, maybe. No, I don't think they'll fit, actually. Maybe I need a little bag for these. Oh, they're lovely. Basically, I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Maybe I was supposed to get 10, because 9 seems a bit of a odd number. Well, it is an odd number, isn't it? But buttons, basically. They look like poppies. They're basically, do you know the red poppy flower? I don't know how well those show up. Sorry, my nails are really bad again today. I might go and sort those out. Obviously, at ice skating, look how bad they are. Nobody sees them because I wear big ski gloves anyway. But yeah, they're lovely, aren't they? So, do you know what? Do you know if I get anything delivered and it comes in a little clear bag, I might transfer them into that. But for now, just to keep them all together, I'm going to put them in there. I'll put them up there. I have got like a speciality button drawer up there. I'll put them in there properly. I've just put them in the gap because, you know, I was saying I'm leaving this one out all the time. Ooh. I've been leaving this one that says needles out over here all the time, so there's a bit of a gap at the moment in that drawer thing. Right, I'm knocking my tree over and things. Right, try and sort that out. Right, my calendar. So I already know I'm getting something out of the box, don't I? It's right on the top. Now I know what this is. Right, I'm trying to look at what's remaining in here. I probably shouldn't think about it too much, but I think I can tell what the remaining 3 things are. I can remember it. That's terrible, isn't it? I know what they are, but still, they're still exciting to get because they're all things I've chose. Now, I'm going to admit, I know what's in here. This is the thing that I bought to go in my advent calendar. I've opened the parcel upstairs and then not brought it down here and then totally forgot about it. And then when I was tidying up upstairs, I found it. So that I didn't think I was going to have something for day 16, and then I found out I did have something. So And this is lovely. And I'll tell you where I bought them from. And I can tell you the price. The price is on it. They're £4.75, and they're 2 wooden bobbins, basically, that you can wrap like ribbon and binding and whatever you want to wrap around it. Basically, you could put embroidery thread around it if you wanted to, but they're toadstools, and there's 2 of them. Right, they're different colours, so let me get them out. It's not the sort of thing you're going to see everywhere you go, is it? But there's a red one. And is that one, what would you say that one is? Grey? On the screen, how I'm looking at it, it looks grey to me. So they're lovely, aren't they? And I bought this from a shop online. They have got a physical shop, and it's called Loom Knitting, and it's in Islington in London. And I'd love to go there, but obviously I don't. Maybe if I ever visit London again, I'll have a look. When we've been down to London, we didn't have really a plan. I think what it is, we were going to Harry Potter Studios, and we'd spent the night. I think, did we spend the night before? I can't remember now, but we did spend one night in London, but not in central London. We were slightly out. So we did have a day in London, but we didn't have a plan. We just thought, you know what, we've never really, like, I'd been to London like with the school to a play, but we literally went to the play and we went back again. And I don't think I've been any other times. We just thought, you know what, whatever we stumble across, we stumble across. And we stumbled across Buckingham Palace, and all the grounds around there. Yeah, so we did see quite a lot, even with no plan, you know, and it was really exciting. But those are just lovely, aren't they? Really, really lovely. So I haven't thought exactly where I'm going to put them. However, it's really useful actually if I tell you where I'm putting things, because if I ever forget and I want to find out, I'd have to watch all my Vlogmas. That would be a nightmare, wouldn't it? But I could forward it to all the, when I was opening the calendars, and then look, where did I put that? Yeah, basically I keep fabrics in here. I wouldn't say that is one for it. Not that one. I think I've dumped that there. I'll put that there. Right. Sorry about that. All fabrics in here that I like to use for making my own bindings. So I really like having stripes. And I actually put bindings I've made in here. So there's a few fabrics I've not cut into. But if you go delving into the bottom, I don't know how well you can see that. There's bindings that I've made. So basically I wind them up. Oh, it's coming undone. I'm going to make a mess of this, aren't I? And then I pin them. That's from when I made the nativity. Remember the wooden nativity? It's what I had left over, look. So if I have projects and I've made too much binding, that's off a quilt I made. So yeah, so if I've made too much binding, it kind of goes in here, and sometimes you might make something you only need a teeny bit of binding for. Well, what I'm saying is I'm going to put them in there. So I've tucked them in that fat quarter. So, you know, if I want to wrap something up, I might actually use it for ribbon, not I'm just thinking, I've bought that for my quilt, my Christmas Carol quilt, and if I'd have been making my quilt, I wouldn't have remembered I'd put that there. Right, I'm going to leave those out, because obviously I don't want to put those back in there. I've got a box of awesome red works, my Christmas Carol red works, up there. And basically, I intend to make this quilt. I'm actually really sorry. There is a viewer that was really looking forward to me making that quilt, but I'm really sorry that it hasn't happened this year. It's terrible. But do you know, when you go into a new year, you think, what do I want to make this year? What did I not get done? I think if I make one quilt next year, it will be the Christmas Carol quilt. If it's just one quilt I get done in the whole year, that is my plan. Obviously, I'm planning on doing 6 Christmas balls, as we're going to do a knit along, aren't we, a few of us? and there's a few like crochet flower things I want to make in the different seasons. There's a few, and I don't like to have too many plans for the year ahead with I just like a few things because I'm quite spontaneous. So obviously I've got my Christmas surprise that I've had from Cool Crafting that I'd like to make, and I've got Polly Dolly Doodah that I've got to finish. So yeah, I've got lots and lots, haven't I, to finish off and things, and obviously new things that come along. So any dressmaking things. What I will try and do though is I'm going to just try and be using the dressmaking fabrics I've got. I'm not afraid of I've done this before. I've gone into a year and I've thought I'm just going to work through my stash of things, and I literally, you think I've got a lifetime of things. I got through all of it. Okay, I had odds and sods, but I had no kits left, no dressmaking fabric. I'd lost everything, and I suspect I'm going to be doing a lot of that next year, working through patterns I have, fabrics I have, kits that I have, because when you don't really want to spend much money, but you've got kits sitting on your shelf, make your kits, you know what I'm saying? But I think what it is, when I was little bit more flush, I think I used to make sure I'd got plenty of kits. So if my husband turned round and said on one weekend, oh, I'm watching football in half an hour, I knew I had a kit that I could just, oh right, I've got everything I need here. That's why I like having kits of things. So I remember when he said I'm watching football and I'd got nothing left to make. That's crazy, isn't it? So I'm not I'm not like one of these that will just keep buying fabric every month. I'm not that kind of, so I'm kind of like, I tend to buy and I try and use straight away, but I'm not saying that always happens, I think sometimes it's because I've, like those green leggings, I bought that fabric to make those leggings. Now I've got fabric left over, so but I still could make something else out of that fabric, so, well, I did make a top out of it, but then it was too low cut, wasn't it? But I've got enough, I could make something else with it. So that's how I end up with stuff left over sometimes, just what I've got left over from projects. I probably haven't got a huge amount of fabrics that I've actually bought in myself. I think I've only got the volume that I've got is because I was having subscription boxes from So Hayley Jane, and because obviously I haven't chose that fabric for a project in mind, sometimes I'd be left a bit like, I'm not sure what I want to make with this. And then because it's such a big piece, I think it's like 2.5 meters, you think, well, I don't want to just make a top out of this, I should make a dress out of it. And then you end up bamboozling yourself, kind of thing, and then you don't end up not doing anything with it. So yeah, I'm going to work through my So Hayley Jane stash hopefully over time. So anyway, I'm going to go now. I don't know how long this video is so far because I stopped it, didn't I, and I came back again. So yeah, it's in 2 parts, so hopefully I haven't whittled on to you too long. So thank you so much for joining me so far. I'm going to go now. I'm going to obviously do as many jobs as I can, get into my ice skating clothes and things, and then go ice skating, back for lunch, and then just crack on doing more things. And hopefully tonight my husband watches football, I'll start doing some sewing. I might even, straight after dinner, and I've cleared up dinner, I could always cut out the top, so when it gets to football time, I can just go straight into the sewing. So that's a possibility. So we'll just see. So I hope you've liked seeing my little Christmas gang. They're basically, people are saying, what's the pattern? There's designers Lally Layla. She's on Etsy. And they're actually called the Xmas Volume 2. She doesn't give them any special name, what these characters are, other than their personal names. When you buy the pattern, you find out their names. So I've got Molly, Chris and Percy. So Percy's always falling over, isn't he? Do you know, I actually put some little pebbles in his feet because I thought it might weigh him down, but I didn't bother with the others because it didn't work anyway. So Anyway, so I just love these. I could just sit and just look at them. All my family have been, my family that live here, obviously, have been very impressed with these. I don't think my middle son has seen them yet, but and they love the robins, especially the tiny one. My youngest son just kept stroking the little fledgling robin. He loves birds. Well, he loves all animals, but he absolutely loves birds, so he's been stroking that one. So yeah, I've got some photographs to take, haven't I? Haven't taken any photographs of my knitted Christmas puddings, and I haven't taken any photographs of the robins yet, so you might get bombarded on social media soon with a few more makes. I'll probably have a mammoth photographing session, but then I'll try and stagger them out, so you know, sometimes it's not a bad idea be posting a lot of photographs at once, because if people, I like to reply to people that comment, and I can just do it, you know, in one go, just, you know, and just to basically reply in one go. If I put a load of photographs on them, just allow a bit of time to reply to people and things. So anyway, so thank you so much for joining me in this day 16 of Stitchmas. I'm getting so excited about Christmas. I must admit, I'm feeling a little bit nervous with what's gone on this morning, but I'm not going to let it overshadow my joy of Christmas. And it's getting close, isn't it, now? So thank you so much. I keep saying this, I'm going to go, and I'm not going. So thank you so much, and I'll see you later. Bye. Welcome back. Now, please excuse the state of me. I'm going to look like I've been dragged through a hedge backwards. I've been skating and I've been obviously spinning and jumping and things, so I'm in a bit of a tatty mess. Yeah, I didn't realise how I've actually kind of flattened it a bit. It did look worse actually, but I've popped on to speak to you. I haven't had my lunch yet, and I'm still in my my skating trousers and my body thing that I wear. I've just took my jacket off. But I thought, I've just been reading some of the comments on the iPad from yesterday's video, and I forgot to mention my husband's calendar. Now, wasn't it funny? Now, if you've been watching a few of my Vlogmases, you'll know that my husband has been opening his Central Perk calendar. Now, at the start of my my Stitchmas Vlogmas, I was basically just showing you, bringing the items in here and showing you what he'd had, but on the quite a few now, I've just been basically filming him in the evening or the morning whenever he opens it, just of him opening the calendar. And it's quite funny because, like, you know, the cats try and get involved. It's quite comical actually. But you will have noticed, and I had mentioned in my videos, for quite a few days he's only been getting stickers, and he's been getting a bit fed up of it. You know, he's a grown man. What's he going to do with a load of stickers, you know? He actually made me laugh. He said, I'm not some kind of sticker collector, you know. But what he has to remember is he has got the calendar that I made for him, that I get out every year, that I fill with little hot chocolate sachets, these lovely chocolates and things, which he's enjoying. This was just a bit of a spontaneous thing. I was in TK Maxx, it was in there, and it was £12, and he's like, basically, I would say, even though like I know Friends basically off by heart, he was the one that introduced me to it. When Friends was on in my teenage years, I tried to watch bits of it and I really didn't enjoy it. And actually, I used to go to the ice rink when I was a teenager. It was more like a youth club back then. It was very cheap to get into, and there was a jukebox, and people would keep playing this Wonderwall, Oasis, I think, and the Friends theme tune, and it drove me mental. This was on Sundays, and I stopped going skating on Sundays because I just couldn't cope with these same two songs. So I had a bit of a negative feeling towards Friends. Then when I met my husband, he said, "Have you ever watched Friends?" And I was a bit like, Well, yeah, I'm not really that good. He said, no, you should watch it from the beginning. So basically, his sister had the videos and we watched it. Basically, Friends hadn't finished at this point when we got together. This was like, you know, over 20 years ago. So at that time, there might have only been maybe 7 series, something like that. I don't know exactly. And I watched them all. And when you watch them in order from start to, you know, you kind of grow with the series. And I ended up loving it. But I see him as the super Friends fan, you know. So even though I'm, you know, I'm a Friends fan as well, but so I got him the calendar, right, and it was £12. It was just a bit of fun, but it was funny. If you watch the end of one of my recent videos, it wasn't the one yesterday, I think it's the one before, it got to the end and he'd got another sticker and he went like this. Yeah, he was having a bit of a joke. He was like having a bit of a tantrum. Anyway, I was thinking, oh gosh, is he going to get another sticker tonight? And there I am filming. How I keep this camera from doing this, I don't know. And then he opened it, and if you watched the very end of my video yesterday, there's nothing in it. I was just crying with laughter. It was just so funny. But what's really funny is if there had been something in that door, it would have been a sticker, because you can tell from the depth and the shape. But then I remember what happened. Day 15 is right next to, I think, day 4 or 5. And I remember one of the earlier days, he got a notebook. And when he got the notebook out, there was a sticker stuck to it. And I said to him, I wouldn't be surprised if you open one of those doors and then there's nothing in it, because I think that's come out of one of the other doors. So he has probably got the sticker, but he had to rip it off because it had like got stuck to something. But oh gosh, it's so funny. So I cannot wait. I cannot wait for him to open that calendar tonight. So what I'll do is at the end of this video today, that will probably be one of the last things you see. I'll do like I'll come and say my goodbyes, and then basically I'll end with that, I think. So yeah, how funny. So, and if all has gone well, you'll have just seen a little bit of footage on the front of my house of the birds, because what it is, I used to have a bird feeder thing that you dig in the ground, and it was red, and you hang bird feeder things off it, but it went all horrible and rusty, and my husband bought the bird feeders in the house and chucked it in the skip, and I was really upset about it. But he bought me some new bird feeders, but I said, yeah, it's not the bird feeders that's the problem, it's somewhere to hang them, that's the problem. So fairly recently, if you follow my videos quite well, you'll have known that he's installed these. They're a bit like what you put hanging baskets on. So it's so lovely, because when I pull up, I get to see the birds, and I can see them from the front of my house, and it's just really, really nice. So anyway, I'm going to go, because I suspect this video is going to be a longish one today, because I've already chatted with you, and then maybe I'm going to come back a bit later and show you. Maybe what I'll do is, whatever I do later, I'll try and make it short and sweet, so this video isn't too long for you. I'll just give you the gist of, unless I just tell you what I did tomorrow morning, maybe. Yeah, I don't know yet. I'll see what happens. So anyway, whatever, there's going to be something after this clip. See you later. Bye. Right, we've missed some days, haven't we? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, 11 we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the weather's in the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. Santa's coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times. Oh. Ali, sit. Good girl.
Blanket with the skyline painted in blue. Ooh, yeah, that's what we do. We'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the windows in the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the January. Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart. Here we go. Now this Christmas, we're gonna dance.
Ali,
Okay.
good girl.
We're gonna dance, have a good time, dance, all night long. We're gonna dance, have a good time. I think Santa's gonna come and join us in this song.
Oh dear, a new pair of socks, I think. Welcome back. Now I probably look even in more of a state than I did earlier because it is now, it's just after 6:15. So basically I've done dinner for 4 people and myself, so 5, and 3 boys were asleep and my husband wasn't back, and I think, gosh, this always happens to me when I'm, really like all ready for everybody. Put a dinner down and then I have nobody turn up. It doesn't say much for my cooking, does it? So, no, it's just unfortunate. I think the boys, they're just all getting exhausted now. I think it's just like a sigh of relief, isn't it? My eldest has broken up from college now, but obviously still be working. And my middle child has just broke up from college today. And it's just my youngest son. He's just got one more half day basically at school, and then he's breaking up. So I think it's just children, they get, teens even, they get like this, don't they, and children towards the end of term. So I managed to wake my middle son up and my husband came back then just in time. But 2 dinners have got foil on top of them, so they might, if they get so cold, they're going to have to go in the fridge and hopefully they can heat up okay. But it's not the sort of dinner that really will favour preheating really, but it's one of those things. It makes me think I should probably just have a load of like ready meals and things in the freezer. So for like teenagers, any tips for with parents of teenagers? Do you think that's a good idea? Just because I've got all different things going on and things, because this sometimes happens, cook a dinner and then no one turns up. So anyway, right, what was I saying? It's 6:15. My husband's just gone in the bathroom because obviously he's been to work. He's had his dinner, he's gone to the bathroom. So I thought I'll come and have a chat with you. And what I've decided to do, I'm not going to film any of what's going on in here this evening because I just saw how much footage I've got already chatting with you. And in all honesty, you're not really going to see much. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it because I've been in the hall. My husband's got deliveries, there's big boxes in the hallway, and since I last cut out fabric on the hall floor, there's actually a mat down now and there's parcels on top of the mat. So I don't know how I just went out actually. I was going to lay my fabric out and then do a bit of footage and show you it all laid out, and then I thought I can't even lay this fabric out. So you'll know tomorrow what ended up happening. I'll let you know if I managed to cut out my top and do any sewing of it. But what else did I need to speak to you about? So when I leave you in this bit of video, I will send you over to some footage of my husband opening his Central Perk advent calendar, but as of yet he hasn't actually done it, so I'm going to be filming that in a moment. So when I've filmed that and pieced obviously this piece of video in into the editing and then that piece of video, I'll finalise it and I'll post it up on YouTube. I'll save it, post it up on YouTube. But yes, I can't wait for him to open that calendar. I said, will you come upstairs now? I said to open your calendar so I can film it, and he was like, okay. The excitement has just gone. I think he's like, he's dreading it more than anything now. So fingers crossed for Chris that he doesn't get another sticker. That's what we're hoping, aren't we? Oh, there's actually something in there today. Oh, it'd be funny if there wasn't, wouldn't it? So anyway, so I'm going to leave you here. I'm clocking off. So other than that footage, you're not going to see me again, but I hope you've enjoyed seeing something today, and you liked meeting Molly, the ball, with her, and all the others now with their rosy cheeks. They're so cute, aren't they? So I really need to get down that in the garden room, because a Christmas tree, the big Christmas tree, is down there, and I need to just take some photographs. I need to take some of, I've took my Christmas puddings down there, so I could get those photographed. Well, that's what I could do while my husband's watching football, but I think I'd rather be sewing than taking photographs of things, really, in an ideal world. But yeah, I've just got to remember what I've made, and I've showed you. I've just got to remember, because it's a nice diary for me, isn't it? You know, so if I've made something, I can look back on things I've made and when I made it and things. So anyway, I'm going to go now, and I'm going to send you over to the Central Perk calendar. Enjoy, because I know I will. Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye.